I think it's fair to say that it has been a challenging year for national security systems around the globe. Governments have been forced to make difficult trade-offs, and border closures and lockdowns have helped to contain the spread of the virus, but even those have come with social consequences and funding challenges. And it's also been a busy year right here at the Ministry of National Security.
My name is Fitzgerald Ethelbert Hines, and I am the Minister of National Security. The highest priority for this ministry is that of border management and security. In this regard, the government, with the help of the Australian government, acquired 2 brand new Cape-class vessels to enhance the operational capacity of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, giving us an opportunity to stay out longer and to go to places around Trinidad and Tobago that we had hitherto either not gone or not gone sufficiently. We as well improved the operational capacity to optimum capacity, the coastal radar system. In addition to that, we, the Ministry of National Security, obtained with the help of our partners in the US, 18 Mercury outboard engines for use on vessels by the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, in particular the regiment, to carry out exercises where they have to in the protection of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Insofar as our human resource capacity is concerned, along with the established numbers over the past year, the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force had 2 passing out parades, taking in a total of about 250 brand new recruits. Insofar as the prison is concerned, we recruited 239 new officers in the past year and 91 new officers for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service obtained and established, with the help of the US, a ballistic firearm recovery unit at the police academy, and that gives them the opportunity to do testing on firearms for evidential purposes in the courts of Trinidad and Tobago. Particular focus has been given on our Forensic Science Center to improve our techniques, to improve our throughput, because of the critical role that the Forensic Science Center must play in the entirety of the criminal justice system. We made body cameras, about 150 of them, available to various units across the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And we introduced in the police service the TTPS app, where without more and data-free, persons can make reports even of crimes to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service with relative ease and simplicity. We have as well the establishment of a brand new Carenage police station for service of the people in that part of Trinidad and Tobago, and which is the base for the coastal and riverine patrol unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Insofar as the prison service is concerned, we continue to work on the government's policy of rehabilitation and preparation for re-entry into the society. We have recently hired, or Cabinet approved, the hiring of 21 psychologists to work across all of the stations, all of the facilities, in order to assist our inmates and even our officers where necessary. Trinidad and Tobago played a very critical role in supporting our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent when recently we had the unfortunate experience of the La Soufrière volcano, which erupted, and Trinidad and Tobago, in our regional disaster management and support efforts, provided significant support. We sent 50 troops who spent time on the ground supporting the people of St. Vincent, and of course, tons of food stuff. We, the Ministry of National Security, played a very significant role in the national response in this regard. Insofar as the public health regulations are concerned, it is our law enforcement personnel who ensured that the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, even as far as wearing face masks, were observed, and prosecuted thousands of people where it had to in defense of the people of Trinidad and Tobago in this regard. In addition, the Defense Force provided security and by way of guard duties actually to all of the quarantine and step-down facilities around Trinidad and Tobago, and that effort continues even as we speak today. Through the Immigration Department, we manage the borders as the government in the public health regulations and otherwise impose travel restrictions on various countries at different times and in different ways. It was the Immigration Department that was at the fore of managing this in the safety and protection of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So altogether, the Ministry of National Security is living true to our mandate to provide safety and security to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I take the opportunity, of course, to thank every single member of all of the units, the divisions and agencies of the Ministry of National Security, and to urge you continued effort in carrying out your mandate, typically to bring peace, safety, and security to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
COVID-19 has affected all areas of social and economic activity. That's just a fact. But in order to build a strong post-pandemic system, focus had to be placed on our young people in combating poverty, food security, and unemployment, as well as retooling, training, and creating employment opportunities as we all move forward together.
I am Foster Cummings, Minister of Youth Development and National Service, the ministry we popularly call MyDNS, to share with you some of our accomplishments for the year 2021. Earlier this year, government approved the National Youth Policy for 2020 to 2025, and this National Youth Policy, following consultation with many stakeholders, was finally approved as our policy moving forward for the next 5 years. Some of the initiatives that we have embarked upon includes the reintroduction of what you would know as youth camps. We now call them the Youth Development and Apprenticeship Centers that cater for young people between the ages of 15 to 25 to upskill them in different areas such as barbering, masonry, carpentry, and those type of skills, but also involving modern day technology skills such as coding, computer programming, web design, etc. And therefore those young people will have the facility at Chatham reopened. We will also reopen the Presto Presto Youth Center. We will as well reintroduce the center at El Dorado for girls, and the government has decided to repurpose the Chagaramas Development Center as a YDAC. We'll also construct a new youth camp at Wallerfield for boys. Earlier this year, we engaged in the International Youth Webinar involving agriculture experts and to introduce to young and budding farmers the idea of innovation and digitization in farming. That was a very successful program. I must share with you that in addition to these youth development centers, the apprenticeship centers, we also have a suite of non-residential centers, and the government currently operates 6 of those centers, and we have taken steps to refurbish these centers to be able to increase the capacity and expand our training programs. I'm sure many of you would like to know what national service is all about, and therefore I will tell you a bit about national service programs. Many of you know of the Civilian Conservation Corps. You may have heard of the MILAT, the military-led academic training program, and you may have heard as well of the MyPart program. All of these programs, including our transition home for boys and our transition home for girls, will come together under the banner of our national service offering. Government has agreed and has appointed a 12-member advisory committee on national service to bring forward a report within the next 6 months as to how we can expand those programs. We have as well equipped the facility at Mausika, and that facility will also be renovated and refurbished, and therefore that will be one of our national service complexes. As well, government has agreed that the beach camp facility in Palo Seco will be upgraded to accommodate a national service complex in South Trinidad. Many of our programs have seen a lot of young people take a keen interest in it, and therefore the programs that we encourage in terms of computer science courses have gotten a high uptake and a lot of applicants, to the point where we have had to limit some of the entrance to the program. But I want to tell you that the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service is very focused and have partnered with the MIC Institute of Technology to offer some of these programs to young people. I want to speak a little bit about our mobile app application, which I mentioned before, and our web design and coding applications. These programs have, of course, caused quite a lot of excitement, and we have had to expand the number of persons that we have had involved in this program. We are so proud of the GENU project that we have embarked on, and earlier this year the ministry signed a letter of intent on behalf of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago to partner with the United Nations country team. And therefore this program focuses on assisting entrepreneurs, and we are so very excited to have some additional support for our small businesses in Trinidad and Tobago. Also earlier this year, the ministry signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development through the Land Settlement Agency that will execute one of the prides of the ministry, which is the Youth Agricultural Homestead Program. It is a program designed to introduce young farmers to Trinidad and Tobago and to improve on our food security. And therefore, these young persons will go into a program that will be run by the MIC in a one-year training program on agriculture, new agriculture techniques, and then a one-year practical component in conjunction with the Ministry of Agriculture. And following that, they will be allocated state lands, 2-acre parcels that the government will improve and put in all the infrastructure. And therefore, we can see over the next 3 years, 150 new farmers every year coming from this program called the YAP. We also partnered with the Ministry of Health to do a youth vaccination drive, which we called It's Worth the Shot. And of course, we were very pleased to see many of our young persons throughout Trinidad and Tobago taking advantage of the opportunity to be vaccinated against this virus, because we know how much this pandemic has affected you, our young people. This year, we had the National Youth Awards 25th edition, which we were so very excited about that program, that targeted and showcased our young people who have excelled in various areas: innovation, sports, agriculture. And it was so refreshing to see those young persons who have given so much that we had an opportunity to showcase them to Trinidad and Tobago. I wish to congratulate all the awardees for the National Youth Awards that was held earlier this year. Cabinet has as well appointed a 12-member team to bring recommendations on the future of the credit union sector. As you know, cooperative development falls under this ministry, and we will be taking steps to improve the regulatory function of the cooperative development division and to bring new technology, to bring new oversight for the credit union sector. We look forward to the report from that committee. I must advise that as well, there is a committee, a coordinating committee in place to give the government further advice and to assist with the implementation of the agricultural programs of the ministry, and we recently appointed that committee a couple of weeks ago. The Ministry of Youth Development and National Service also focuses on enterprise development, and recently we have been in discussions with Kariri, who operate a youth incubator, a business incubator at Freeport, and you can see a lot of cooperation coming in not in the distant future between the Ministry of Youth Development and the Ministry of Planning and Development, utilizing Kariri to assist our young business people and to give them that kind of support, a sort of holding hand in a business incubator to assist young business people. NEDCO, which is the funding aspect of our government support for business that falls under this ministry, has continued to facilitate a lot of business programs and advisory services to young business people, and as well provides funds to those entrepreneurs who require support for their businesses. As you would know, because of this pandemic, a lot of businesses may have encountered difficulties as the economy had to close from time to time, and therefore the government approved a grant administered by NEDCO for all small businesses, and I can tell you that over $20 million in grant funding has been distributed to business persons throughout Trinidad and Tobago. That's some of the activities that I wish to share with you from the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, my DNS, as we say, making my DNS yours.
The need to accelerate the pace of transforming the way that government does business became imperative. Digitalization has enhanced the ability to serve and adapt effectively. So from telework to virtual courts to virtual education to digital infrastructure and workforce, everything is impacted. No longer was this a good thing to have. Quite simply put, it is a must-have going forward.
I am Senator Hasselbachas, Minister of Digital Transformation. The Ministry of Digital Transformation was established on July 12, 2021, and in the past 6 months, we've sought to build on a strong portfolio to which I had previously contributed under the Ministry of Public Administration and Digital Transformation. I want to share with you the pillars upon which we are building our hopes and dreams, and they are digital society, digital government, and digital economy towards creating a digital society. After creating the development of the TT Travel Pass, a review of operations over the past few months has been conducted, and based on our findings, we are working to improve the experience and to streamline its operations. Our ICT access centers are under review by a project team established to support the service delivery at our 6 operational centers. They have visited each center, met with the access center staff, and have begun to address and resolve operational issues. Simultaneously, project and program teams have already begun the discovery process to establish and implement 50 access centers as identified in the national budget for 2021-2022. We are developing new implementation approaches built on partnering with the private sector and with the local communities. In November, we also entered into a partnership with the Adult Literacy Tutors Association, ALTA, to offer their online literacy training at our access centers. This is currently being piloted at the Todd's Road Center and will be rolled out to other communities in the next year. The TT Wi-Fi initiative, already offering access to free Wi-Fi services in public spaces, including transport hubs, hospitals, libraries, and some schools, continues to expand with the identification of new locations throughout Trinidad and Tobago. The concept of connected communities is now under development. We are in the process of building an implementation framework for accelerating its establishment, beginning with the borough of Arima. We are selecting digital technology and solutions which will improve citizens' experiences in interacting with government and in their day-to-day normal activities. We have also undertaken new initiatives to bring broadband connectivity to 10 underserved areas, including Moruga, Mayaro, Charlottesville, and others. And through that, we are progressing in the deployment in other areas, Brasso Venado and in St. John's Parish in Tobago. I am very happy to announce that the process of selecting a new e-identity solution that will make use of the interoperability framework for the providing of e-services has begun. From a partnership standpoint, the Ministry of Health is one of our major partners in the quest for digitalization of government services. To this end, iGovTT will be issuing an RFP for a health information system for the Arima and Point Fortin hospitals. Another critical partner for the MDT is the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. We have been collaborating on a new social services management information system, which is aimed at improving the administration of services to vulnerable citizens, with the goal of making these services more efficient and effective. We have been working with the Ministry of National Security and the Ministry of Health on a new e-vaccination certificate, which has just been launched. We have also focused internally on improving the systems that support the operations of government such as the government network that connects our ministries, divisions, and agencies, and our GovPay system, which supports aspects of our electronic payments. In the coming year, we will launch an expanded and strengthened GovPay system, as well as a more resilient and enhanced GovNet service towards the digital economy. We have just decided it is time to start tapping into the creativity and innovativeness of our people by building digital solutions for Trinidad and Tobago by Trinidad and Tobago, so that we have better control of these solutions and how they support our country and our economy. In this regard, we are pursuing several initiatives. We have already completed a detailed data survey, which is now allowing for the development of improved data sharing strategies amongst ministries, divisions, and agencies, with the objective of improving service delivery and the ease of doing business. We have been working with the IDB on the design of our Developers Hub. This program will seek to expand the software development sector in the country with a focus on the individual developer and the small development teams. We have just begun our current state assessment, which will underpin the development of our 2023 to 2028 National Digital Plan with the assistance and support of the UNDP. We are engaging the IDB to help shape and fund our new digital initiatives, and with their support and their international experts. We have utilized our first few months in office wisely, dreaming of a digitalized future for Trinidad and Tobago, assessing our progress thus far, engaging with stakeholders and partners, and developing innovative, sustainable solutions for the accelerating and growth and improving our quality of life. On behalf of the executive and staff of the ministry, I thank you for your continued support and God's richest blessings for your safety, well-being, and prosperity for the new year. I thank you.
The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs was the focal point for Trinidad and Tobago's international dealings in securing vaccines for our citizens and handling nationals stranded because of border closures. They have been very much at the forefront in a time of much uncertainty.
Hello, I'm Dr. Amory Brown, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs has the primary responsibility for the establishment and maintenance of relationships between Trinidad and Tobago and other countries and partners in our region and in the international arena. Through these relationships, the Ministry advances and promotes national priorities regionally and internationally in support of the continuing development of all our people. We always work closely with our country's partners in the Caribbean community, and we started 2021 with an intense regional focus, as CARICOM was chaired by our Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, for the first 6 months of the year. Trinidad and Tobago, during its chairmanship, coordinated the region's response to a range of issues, including a volcanic eruption, a significant border dispute to our south, the advancement of the CARICOM single market and economy, regional food and nutrition security, and most importantly in 2021, the acquisition of COVID-19 vaccines for our country and for the wider region. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs also worked with regional and international partners to improve our nation's capacity to respond to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Through these efforts, we received financial and technical support, as well as donations of field hospitals, oximeters, medicines, personal protective equipment, sanitizers, test kits, thermal scanners, and ventilators, which have all been put to use to support our national healthcare system. In 2021, through our focused and sincere diplomacy, our country also received numerous consignments of free COVID-19 vaccines, and we've been able to access commercial arrangements for the purchase of additional vaccines. The Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs also led the way in providing support to hundreds of nationals abroad, particularly those who could not return to Trinidad and Tobago whilst borders were closed to international travel. Through our network of overseas missions, we provided support to nationals through the provision of cash grants and intervened on their behalf with authorities in overseas jurisdictions, as well as with national ministries and agencies to assist them in their return home. The fulfillment of our consular responsibility to nationals abroad was also displayed in our coordination with the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in repatriating our nationals subsequent to the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano. At the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, we are proud to serve all the people of our nation. And in 2021, we were also able to modernize key internal processes of the ministry with improvements to our CSME systems and with improvements to how we serve all our stakeholders, including our valued friends in the diplomatic corps and in the consular corps. These are just some examples of the many ways in which the Ministry of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs worked for you in 2021 as a key part of Team TNT as we do more with less in the interest of all our people. Permit me to end by offering heartfelt thanks to the officers and staff of the ministry at home and abroad. Thank you for your tireless service and dedication to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And on behalf of the entire team, I offer best wishes to the people of our beautiful and diverse nation.
Never before has economic disruption been so severe. The pandemic struck at a time when the country was addressing structural problems in the economy, and government support was required to sustain families and businesses in the face of revenue challenges and income shortages. The road to recovery required an inclusive, collaborative, multi-sector approach, which they delivered.
The biggest challenge is to keep the economy moving, keep the money flowing, and make what we call mandatory payments. Every month, we have to make mandatory payments of almost $4 billion. And that involves salaries throughout the public sector and the state sector. It involves goods and services, electricity, telephone, essential supplies. For example, in the health sector, we have a huge pharmaceutical bill, medication, medical supplies, etc. Over $1 billion a year, just for that alone. The challenges of working in a pandemic are actually threefold. One, you have to provide additional support to vulnerable populations. Then you have to cope with a vastly reduced revenue stream. And the third thing is that because of the pandemic and because of the public health restrictions, the system isn't functioning as it should. You know, not every public servant is at work, for example. Things take longer now. Simple little things like releasing funds takes longer because not everybody is at work. Some people are in quarantine and that sort of thing. So it's very disruptive. We have for years been running the expenditure of the country way beyond our means. I don't think there's any proper understanding of it. You come into this ministry and you have to watch the overdraft at the central bank every day. We get a report every single day and I have to look at it. And once the overdraft is inching up beyond 80% and getting up to 90%, we have to start taking action. We have to start throttling back. We have to start finding money. I'm told this has never happened before. That previously there was no overdraft. The government's account was in surplus in the central bank up to 2012. In fact, in 2010 there was $6 billion in credit. So the concept of having to struggle with an overdraft that is right at the limit every day is something unknown to ministers and public servants. The public servants are not even accustomed to it yet. And that's why we always find ourselves having to scramble all the time. So that what I appreciate from this job is how fragile the situation is and how much care and attention you have. You really have to pay attention with this job. This is not a ministry where you could delegate everything and let other people, perform your functions. In the coming year, I'm hoping that the two institutions that we have managed to find solutions to, which is the Gambling and Gaming Authority and the Revenue Authority, I will be able to establish them and operationalize them in the coming year so that we could start to get a better revenue stream coming to the government, because there's a lot of tax evasion outside there, a lot of leakage. So those two agencies are designed to try and stem the flow in terms of tax avoidance and tax evasion. For companies involved in technology development, in digitization and digitalization and so on, they would pay a lower rate of tax and they will also get incentives. What I'm also seeking to do in this year, 2022, and it's a lot of work, is to create an online marketplace. So people who have goods will be able to rent space in this online marketplace and be able to buy and sell their goods. You have something to sell, you post it on the online marketplace, and people can log in, look for your item, find something that they want, pay you online using their credit card or some other system, and you ship the goods to them. That's how those online marketplaces work. And then we take it international. So I'll make it domestic first, that's the plan, and then we take it international. The use of cash is a real humbug. The use of checks and all that sort of thing is a real humbug. If people can pay for things and receive their salaries on their phone, on their computer, they don't have to go to the bank, they don't have to go inside the bank. If they need cash, of course, they could get it through an ATM or something like that. But we want to introduce virtually any payment. You're paying your light bill, you're paying your water bill, you're paying your driver's license, you're paying for any government service, you're paying for your passport, for example. Any fee within the public service, anything. Pay your taxes, cashless. On a phone, on a laptop, on a tablet. That is what we will be doing in this year 2022. I want to wish the nation and my constituents of Diego Martin Northeast a very bright and happy Christmas and Holy Christmas. I do wish in 2022 that this terrible virus will leave us. And I do wish that people can recover from it. I do wish businesses can recover. People can recover at the personal level. Those who have lost loved ones, you have my deepest sympathy. And let us look forward to the best new year that we can possibly get. Let us all try to work together to see if we can improve the lives of everyone.
12 months, 52 weeks, 365 days have passed, and as we celebrate the end of one year and the beginning of another, we remember those that we've lost in the battle to COVID-19. We must look back on the year with the knowledge that brighter days are ahead of us, and that although our challenges are great, each one of us has the courage, determination, and responsibility to rise up and meet them. It is that spirit that has kept Trinidad and Tobago alive for generations, and that same spirit will keep us alive for generations to come. So, on behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and from my family to yours, Happy New Year.